First of all, I'd like to give you props because I noticed on your MySpace account that you, the actual band, keeps up the page.
Yes.
And that's very, very respectable. And you seem to be truly into your fans, and you have the understanding that the fans do have the control of what they hear on the radio nowadays. CandleBox has been doing music since 1991, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to know what makes and keeps you ticking with your music.
Well, I don't know. When you're a musician, it's kind of all you can do. It pretty much rules your day. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up at 3 in the morning with lyrics running through my head, and I've had to go out and write them down, and the fear of losing something good in there. So I mean, it pretty much is. That's what keeps me ticking. Now we have I have a baby with my wife, and that's a whole nother incentive to make music. I mean, it's a business, yeah, but I mean, it's what I love and it's what I do, and that's the only thing I can imagine doing.
That's your calling.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, it seems like it.
Wasted 19 years.
Definitely not a waste. Well, I imagine it takes an enormous amount of life experience and inspirations to continue writing and playing great music, as y'all do so very well. Where do you find your inspiration for your music?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's life, television, books, walking to the park in I live in Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles in '98, and my wife and I, we walk the same way every day. We go to this place called the Farmer's Market to get our vegetables and stuff, and every day I see something new. It's just the same walk, but I see something new every single day, and it's that kind of stuff that's what keeps you thinking, and kind of you may never have noticed it before, and then all of a sudden it kind of inspires something for you to think about. So that, and lust and love and sex and all that type of stuff is
Amen.
definitely key to the songs that I write.
The whole experience, awareness, I like that. On your hit Far Behind, who was this written about, and what would you like to tell your fans about this song or this person?
Well, for years I didn't tell anybody what it was about, because you don't want to take something from an audience or from a listener. But now it's a song that was written for Andy Wood, who's the singer from Mother Love Bone, which ended up becoming Mookie Blaylock, formed out of that, Pearl Jam, and then so Andy was a friend and an inspiration and a musical genius in Seattle that just had everything going for him and couldn't get himself clean, couldn't stay straight, and so that's what the song's about. It's just kind of like feeling as though I wasn't a good enough friend, or I maybe didn't take enough time to really help him beat that addiction.
Well, is this your first date on this tour?
This is actually. We're only doing 10 shows, just to kind of. The record comes out on July 22nd, so we're like, well, let's hit the South and do some warm-ups. We've got some radio shows, but we just Shreveport. This was booked by this kid that's in Reflections Burn.
Right,
Colin. Yeah, he called us up and said, "Do you want to play a show?" And, yeah, sure. We haven't played Shreveport since '98. So.
Right, since the fair. Yeah. Speaking of your fourth record release, coming out July 22nd, you said Into the Sun. What influenced the title, and what can we expect from this album?
Well, the song influenced the title. The song is about want, desire, need, painful yearning, and very sexual, in a very sexual way, between a man and a woman, or any type of relationship, the earth and the sun, or it's that kind of a thing. So the lyric is always into the sun. Wings ablazed, I'm alive, I fight. That's the chorus of the song. So what that kind of represents is really just going as far into that urge that you can, and really feeling it, and not being afraid of it. And so the record kind of feels that way as well. The record is a very bold statement for us. It's been 10 years since we released a record, and in that time we've all grown enormously as musicians as well as friends, and in our relationships with one another, as well as our relationships with our wives and girlfriends and family and all that sort of thing. And this record is a real step for us. It's the best record we've ever made, and that's the honest to God truth. I've never really been a fan of any of the CandleBox records. There's songs on each record that I really love, but as a whole, as an album, this is the only record that I do not skip a single track, and I want to listen to all the time. I never listened to the CandleBox records. When they were done, I never listened to them. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know. But
Well, that's a really good thing. It says you're evolving, and you've evolved to a point where you're content with that. And
I guess maybe I was just so insecure that I didn't really feel as though we had done it the right way, and now I feel so strongly about this record that I can listen to it.
well, I imagine some of those troubles may have come from the stress of the record label, how the music industry was run back then. Um, yeah, my question number 5. I noticed on your bio that a lot of confusions and troubles came out of your old record labels and the stressful lifestyles that it led you to. I want to ask you now: are you happy with the way the music industry is now, and is there anything you're not happy about?
Um, well, I'm happy being in charge of my own career, not having to answer to a major label and being concerned with whether or not I'm going to piss them off. But we are signed to a label as an independent, so we're still dealing with those types of kind of uncomfortable relationships and not being sure exactly what you can say. We did deliver the record we wanted to deliver when we wanted to deliver it, and we do tour when we want to tour, how we want to tour. So we are in charge of it in a sense, but we aren't. CandleBox isn't strong enough of a band to go and do, say, what Radiohead does, where you just release an album, or Nine Inch Nails just release a record on your own and not having to worry about anything, or Pearl Jam for that matter with all the bootlegs. We've never really achieved that type of success. So for us, we kind of do need this relationship. It's a necessary evil. The nice thing is it's on our terms this time, and we don't have any conflicts with anyone at the label where we feel as though they're not paying attention to us.
Right. Well, you're blessed.
So, yeah.
Well, I would like to thank you very much for your time in this interview. Shreveport has always been a big fan of CandleBox. Shreveport has a lot of local music of its own, and many musicians would like to pursue their careers as musicians. My last question to you is, what advice do you have for musicians of Shreveport to further and keep a positive career going for them?
Well, the hardest thing is being honest with yourself as a musician. That's first and foremost. I mean, I think that you have to know how to recognize whether or not what you're doing is absolute horse shit, or if there's something really special there. If you're following in the footsteps of other bands, or trying to sound like other bands, that's horse shit. If you're doing what you want to do the way you want to do it, and you feel passionate about it, then that's the honest reality of what you should be doing. It doesn't mean you're going to succeed, but at least you're being honest, because people can smell shit a mile away, and that's the first and foremost thing, is to be honest with yourself about what you're doing. Secondly, be patient. I have a band that I manage out of Memphis called On a Dead Machine that is one of the greatest bands I've ever heard. And it's been 2 years now that we've been shopping the guys and having them play, and there's labels that are interested and there's labels that aren't interested. And these are seriously 4 of the best musicians I've ever had the pleasure of sharing a stage with, let alone manage. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and you have to be patient. You can't expect it just because you think it's great that it's gonna hit. I mean, like I said, maybe it's a bad thing that I like this record so much. It may mean that it's absolute horseshit, but you never know unless you put it out there. So just be honest and be patient, and really enjoy what you're doing. Be thankful that you're not struggling with some sort of awful disease or something like that. You're actually getting to do what you love doing, even if it's not your day job.
Right.
It's still, you have that outlet, you have that opportunity to go play in front of people that love what you do and will come see you play and cheer for you, and it's all about the fans at the end of the day.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate this interview very much.
Now maybe did I mean to treat you bad, but I did.